Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? How are we doing?
Good
Wednesday.
morning. Looks like you and Margaretta are twinning. She's
We are
waving.
twinning. You got the gloves on in the car. I love it. I love it. Who wants to share something to make everybody smile? What do we got? I want some gratitude, something good going on in the world. What do we have? Oh my God, people, come on, come on. Somebody. Are our lives that bad?
Well, I'm the odd
Just
man out, but nothing makes me happier than seeing my breath in the morning and white stuff on the ground. I am pumped about the snow.
yeah. Holy cow, was it icy last night? But yeah, nice for a little white dusting. So we will leave that as the put a smile on everybody's face. And for those of you who don't enjoy the snow, hopefully you are not in it. Um, so wanted to change things up a little bit today, and probably a little bit moving forward here in an effort to make this the best way to start your day in real estate. I kind of want to take a look at headlines every day. There's a lot of different news channels out there, and I think it's difficult as an agent to figure out which news feeds you should look at, stay on top of it. If you're getting these newsletters, some of them will require you to pay. So I thought I could kind of do that work for you guys. Take a look at what happened the day before, and then just so you're kind of in the know, and get your day started with some info. So a couple of things. Mortgage rate drop, 6-week low. So 30-year fixed at 6.34 and the 15-year at 5.7. So that's nice. We're finally starting to see a little bit of a tick there. Big brokerage merger news. I think this is definitely going to become a theme. I think brokerage is getting more and more difficult to succeed, especially for the smaller guy. So Compass is actually acquiring at Properties Christie's International. It's a $444 million move. It's their first major move into a global market. So I think Compass is kind of known for luxury. Christie's International, definitely known for their luxury brand. So yeah, this is a big move. I guess they're listing Compass currently as the 8th largest brokerage firm, and then pulling in Christie's. I don't know where that's going to put them at the end of the day. Expecting this deal to finalize by the end of the year. So pretty interesting. It brings them into a couple of new markets where I guess they just didn't have big footprints. So I guess that's part of the reason for the move. I don't know if Christie's was necessarily struggling, but interesting. I think there's a lot of little mergers going on from like smaller independents and stuff, but this is a pretty big acquisition. And then the final piece that I had was just there's a Unison, which is they do a lot of different reporting, but they put out a home equity report highlighting a 4.5% year-over-year increase in home prices. Significant equity gains in Connecticut and Jersey were highlighted. So still, equity positions moving up for people, which is obviously most people's biggest form of wealth. So I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on any of this stuff. Just maybe a little bit of a thumbs up. Do we like if I can kind of rip through the news, give you guys a little bit of a headline every day so you don't have to compile this stuff? Cool. All right. So and if I forget, please hold me accountable to do this for you guys. Jeff and Linda, you guys got your hand up. I don't know if you had a question, a thought.
Oh, no, it was just a gratitude. We are so delighted and thrilled that all 4 of our children are coming down to Florida for Christmas, which is everybody's all over the place, and so that they can all be here together at the same time is just it's just so thrilling. Yeah, so we're delighted.
Awesome. Family time is the best time.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Margaretta, your hand is up. I don't know if you had a question, a comment. Maybe you're just keeping your hands up to stay warm. I don't know.
Yes, no, sorry. That was random. I apologize. Keep warm,
All right.
people.
All right. No worries. No worries. Okay. Did somebody just throw a hand up? No. All right. Well, let's open it. Oh, go ahead, Amber. What do you got?
Oh, it's just real estate related. So something came up yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting, but if somebody wants to talk about what you talked about first, that's fine.
No, let's hit it. What do you got?
So as you know, my husband's family owns a pest control company, and he got a call from another agent yesterday with a question. And I know it's weird. My husband's dealing with other real estate agents, but it's true. So I guess and I don't know if it's new, and Megan can probably talk about this a little bit more because she does new builds. This is only the second time he's had to deal with this, but we got a call from an agent on a new build that's actually supposed to close on December 17th. It's a VA loan, and the VA is requiring a pre-treatment for termites on this new build. There was another one that happened in East Hampton this year that we were involved in. So I was looking through because, my husband was like, yeah, this is not normal. This is, obviously down south, it probably is. Florida may have it. I know some of the southern states, I know Texas does, but they require them to pre-treat all new builds. So there's the form, which I actually have a copy of, that I got from the agent, or my husband got from the agent and I got from my husband, that there's two boxes you can check. Either one, that a pest control company has come out and done one of three types of treatments, or two, and the builder has to give a 1-year warranty on this, just like on the house. So the 1-year warranty goes with that termite treatment. And number two, they have to build all sills and yada, yada, yada with this specially pressure treated wood or whatever. But I just found it interesting because I don't do a ton of new builds, but I do them. And I don't know how many people do, take a VA loan versus, regular loans. I have no problem with it. But, again, it makes me think like all these regulations, and I know it's to protect them, but on a new build, it seems kind of weird. But Megan might have more info on that.
Yeah, I've never heard of this, so this is a great topic to bring up today, Amber. Meg, do you have anything?
We did run into this with one of our clients who was using a VA loan, and we did have to work with a pest control company to make those accommodations to fill out the paperwork and do like a pre-treatment. And the 1-year warranty, it comes pretty standard with the builder anyways, so that we didn't have a problem filling that out.
Awesome. KB?
I wonder if it has to do, like, have you seen this since they've made like changes where the VA buyer is able to pay for some of these things? Like maybe they're trying to like limit what they have to pay for, so they just figure if it's a new build and they can put the termite stuff on the buyer. Like, do they still have to? They're still required to do a termite inspection if the treatment is done. I'm just trying to figure out why in my head that.
Yeah, well, the VA requires the inspection to begin with, but on a new build, there isn't. It's almost like pool pre-treats. Every pool that goes in, and if you don't have this, there's a problem. But pool treatments, you should have, in ground or above ground, they pre-treat the ground before they put the pool in. So it's kind of similar, but I just thought it was odd. Again, this is only the second time we've seen it, and it's fairly new. So, and it is on the builder. So, the buyer isn't responsible. It's just something that I was like, crap, it's something we might have to think about in the future. And maybe they're just becoming more strict, because from what I'm reading, this has been it's been on the books for a long time. Like I saw paperwork back to 2017. So.
Meg, what do you got?
Yeah, I was just gonna chime in because KB was saying, was it more recent? Ours was back in 2022 that we had to do this. So, and not only that, but like our builder had to become an approved VA builder. So this builder probably for this property had to go through that process as well. And there's not many VA builders, from what I understand in the area. So, it's a process, but it is appealing if, from a buyer's perspective, if you are able to offer that VA loan.
Just doing a little bit of research as you guys are chatting. Apparently, there's something called a TIP map, TIP, termite infestation probability map, which categorizes regions in the United States based on the likelihood of termite activity. And so it looks like what VA is doing is using the TIP map to then determine where they're going to require pre-treatment. So, there's very heavy, moderate to heavy, et cetera. And Massachusetts falls into that moderate to heavy category. So that's why it's necessitating that termite protection measure. Southeastern states are in that very heavy region. So Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina and Texas, as well as California and Hawaii are in that very heavy region. So what a topic, Amber. 20 years of doing this, I have never heard of a TIP map or pre-termite treatment required by VA. So there you go.
Yeah, my husband's been doing this for 32 years. His family's been in the business for almost 80, and this is only the second time this has happened. So, and he does VA loans all the time. He does the termite inspections and stuff. So we thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I'm assuming this is only for new construction.
Yeah, this was specific to new. I mean, obviously, you still have to go out and do the inspection if there's any damage. It used to be only if there was current damage, but due to the wink, wink, shrug, shrug, I'll give you a little on the side type of thing. Now they're requiring any damage, whether it's new or old, you have to do a treatment. So, which is newer. But now this was just a little odd, so I thought I'd bring it up.
You get my celebratory, whatever that thing is, award today. I love it. Thank you for bringing some nuggets. Who else has got something? What is going on in the world? What are you guys learning that would be a good share for this group? Well, one of the things I keep an eye on is the KCM stuff. And we actually used to dedicate a couple of these calls to KCM and some of their infographics and stuff. And I think I may start to incorporate more of this stuff because I think it's critical that you guys know this. And as we're making this push for, hey, what do we have for social media shareables? This KCM stuff, in my opinion, is gold for your stories. To just kind of drop, hey, I do real estate and not, hey, look at, I sold another house, but like, hey, I'm educated and I'm trying to educate you. So let me just, I want to share a couple of these so you guys can see what these graphics look like. And I would highly recommend getting this stuff onto your stories, right? Especially if you're somebody that's just not comfortable putting yourself on just yet. You're just trying to get your feet wet with stories. These are some really good little shareables. So let me just pull up a couple of these things. And then while some of you guys are driving, I apologize, but so the one I've got on the screen right now just says cooler months are the sweet spot for sellers. It talks about month supply of single family homes, right? And it shows it's basically, it looks like July of 21 all the way through to today. And it shows significant dips around January of every single year. And so obviously, when there's fewer listings to compete with as a seller, and only serious buyers are on the market, this is an advantage, right? So when you've got those people that are nervous about or waiting for the holidays and stuff, this is a great shareable. This is something that you guys should be popping onto your stories now. And I've got to take this myself, and I got to get these things out there as well. So again, learning together about how best to do this stuff. So, so that's that one. Let me see. I got a couple others here that I just thought would be great. Reasons you may not want to sell, or excuse me, reasons you may not want to wait to sell. Nice little shareable here.
Steve, you stopped
So
sharing your screen.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta freaking go back and forth, unfortunately. I'm gonna see if I can't keep it on one screen. But so serious buyers are looking right now. You have an inventory edge, right? And so these are the types of things where you can kind of combine a couple of these social media shareables. You have control over your showings, and the holiday decor can make your house shine. And I think some people do a really good job around the holidays. They really get into this stuff, and I think it can make the house show a little bit better than it would other times a year. So that's a good one. Let's see here. Maybe it will let me. No, you bugger. So here's a final one. This doesn't have to do with time of year, but this one just is 39% of sellers chose to sell their house as is. Okay, versus 11% did major renovations and 50% did minor renovations. And so this is, I think really good stuff for you guys to just have top of mind, have at a listing appointment when they're asking, hey, should we do this? Should we make some repairs? Right? You can give your feedback on if you think it's going to be something that's going to add some value and they're going to get the money back or not, but also just to make them feel comfortable. Hey, you know what? About half of sellers do some minor repairs. I know this is a little bit of an inconvenience, but I really think if you spent a couple of bucks here, that you're going to get some money back in return. When people feel like they are, the same as others, right? I think it feels much more comfortable. Like, hey, this is what other people are doing. They are sprucing their house up a little bit before they put it on the market. And then if they're just, hey, you know what? Sold it, I just want to sell it as is. Hey, no problem. 40% of sellers, are in that same boat. Totally get it. And obviously a smaller group doing the major renovations, because I think the major renovations a lot of times can be very risky. When you just pick, like if you've got a house that's needs some work, let's say, and you decide I'm just going to do one big thing versus a total flip where you're, everything is done, you're kind of walking a fine line. There's, I think the buyer pools are either, hey, I'm willing to do a lot of work, or I want move-in ready. I think that move-in ready group, I don't know the stats on it, but I think it's a pretty big group. So it's like when you do just one thing and you didn't do all the other stuff, I don't know, it gets difficult. So
I showed a home over the weekend, and I happened just to look at what the property looked like when the seller bought it. These people didn't do anything. They still had the yellow refrigerator, and they asked me for feedback, and I'm like, and they're asking $150,000 more for the home, and I'm like, and plus the place smelled like dog. So I gave them feedback. I'm like, it would have been nice to, maybe paint the walls, do some prep before putting it for sale. I just, my buyer's like, I can't, and he also looked it up.
yeah,
It was just, I just couldn't believe that they didn't do anything to the property in 5 years.
yeah. I do think you got to be careful, guys. And this is kind of what I'm getting at. When you're listing a home and it needs everything, putting stainless steel appliances into a kitchen that needs a complete rehab, I don't think it is a good investment, right? Like if we're just going to kind of dabble in fixing this thing up, I think you'd be better off just not doing anything. I don't know. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on this. Martin, your hand's up.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people nowadays, and I hate to say this, it's like they put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. I mean, you can still notice that it's crap. Like we went to one house where there was water damage and they literally painted over the water damage and it's already chipping like a month later. And it's like, do the extra effort. I just feel like people just do, pardon the expression, a half-assed job a lot of times, and make sure you're your sellers are doing it right, not just, pardon the expression, half-ass.
Yeah,
So I think a
KB,
lot of people notice.
Martin, your time's up. Get your mic off. KB, what you have? Or Martin, did you want to finish your thought?
I can take a hint.
KB, what do you got?
I agree. I kind of agree with Martin, right? I think that it's more of a conversation with the seller of setting realistic expectations in regards to what they have and what they're willing to do. I think it's all about pricing. Like, Sue, if you're looking at the property and, 5 years ago it sold for X and now it's going to sell for $150,000 more, well, it's our job as the agent to look at the comparables and show that to the client and see if that price makes sense for the market that we're in today, right? Like, you can't just say it's worth $150,000 more and not have the proof. Like, the proof is in the comps. So I think that, if it truly has appreciated that much because the market's changed that much, I don't know where the house is, but then maybe it is worth it the way that it is. I'm a huge fan of houses that need a little bit of sprucing up but have super solid bones, because that's, to me, that's equity, right? But I think you got to just know the market. You got to know what's a realistic price point for what you have. And I kind of agree. Like, I'm not a huge fan of huge renovations just to put it on the market, because you don't always know what you're going to get out of them.
Anybody else just want to chime in with any thoughts? Or do you have a question? Hey, I'm going to be taking a listing and they were asking me about this and I didn't know how to respond. What do you got, any? Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about how to handle these seller conversations when it comes to the repairs. All right, let's open it back up. Anything jog anybody's memory, something going on in a deal that you want to share, something you learned? Alex.
So maybe not something I learned, but something that I just had on one of my listings that closed. It was interesting. The day of the listing appointment, we were kind of talking about why we are a full fee, full service brokerage. Like, that's how I always say it, kind of like Chris Voss teaches us. And it's because of the leverage. So we use some of the extra that we charge in case we need to negotiate, in case we need to put stuff together. But realistically, we're still going to shoot for making our sellers all the money and ourselves to be able to, profit from it. The seller at first wanted a much smaller commission. The neighbor across the street, who's a realtor, was going to take her listing at a much smaller commission. I still charge the full amount that I charged. I think we're not allowed to give out numbers on this call, right? So,
Right.
but one of the cool things,
I appreciate you for
yeah,
throwing numbers out there.
trying to be subtle with it. But one of the cool things was, so I charged what I charged, and when things started happening, like the seller started getting really flustered about estoppel certificates and why they had to pay for them, and I think there was one other discrepancy. I told her, I was like, look, we can still utilize, like, I can take care of this for you guys. And this is a very small fee. I could still take care of it for you. They were beyond thrilled about it. And at the end of the day, we as Roby Homes also made a lot more money than if I had just taken it at a lower commission amount. So it's like coming up with different leverage points and creative thinking to be able to put deals together. Like, at one point, she was happy to pay the buyer's agent when the home was $550, but then completely wanted to crash the entire deal when it was the same amount at $525,000 when we finally got it under contract. And then I did the math on that, and I was like, well, the difference between $550 and $525 is only like $750. Do I want to eat it? No. Do I want to keep this deal together and have a 90-year-old client who's happy? Absolutely. And then at the end of the day, we still win. So it was just, there was a lot of like different creative thoughts that went into this listing. We finally closed yesterday, and it was a roller coaster with them. But then we're exchanging hugs and telling me to stay in touch, and I'm the favorite person they've ever met. So I just thought I would share a couple cool creative thinking.
Yeah, Alex, it's a great share because it's just another little tool to have in your tool belt when you're at that listing presentation and trying to justify your commission, right? That hey, if something does come up, these are the types of things I've done for my clients in the past. I hope it doesn't. But just because we're setting this commission now doesn't mean that it's fixed forever and that there's no room for negotiations down the road. So and when this topic comes up, I always like to remind everybody, please, if you've got to, put money into a deal, there's a lot of people making money on the deal. So ask for help all around. The sellers, the buyers, the agents, the attorneys, the lenders, can everybody help out when we're this close and we're off by $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, right? We shouldn't be losing deals over that kind of money. We should always be able to keep those kind of deals together. So I don't know if anybody's maybe just, we're getting towards the end of it here, but if anybody's got anything quick on that type of a thing, hey, I just negotiated and, everybody chipped in, or it was just unusual, or anything come to mind, that'd be a good share for the group. Okay. Well, one of the things that I also, go ahead, Alex.
Not towards what we negotiated, but one of the other things I found out with this client was her daughter actually called me a couple days after signing and kind of going over everything to tell me that she has dementia. And I had no idea because there was no inclination symptoms or anything that would point in that direction for me. So what I did was immediately talk to my client to have her daughter involved in everything, because it went from everything is happy to, oh my God, we're getting taken advantage of. So I got the immediate family on board. And then the next transaction I did with a different client, I did the exact same thing because they're in their 80s, 90s and, not fully cognitively there. But that also kind of helped alleviate some of the things. So when I'm speaking in the presence of the client, but also in their trusted siblings or their kids, really helped with making the transition smooth, with the clients trusting us and not ever feeling like something is not right. That's all.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So one of the things that I also want to start adding to this call is how can you continue this on, right? Like, I want this to be the best way to start your day in real estate. But what are the other things that you can do throughout the day outside of, doing your day-to-day prospecting and working with your clients? Is how else can you level up your skills? And one of the reasons why I wanted to, partner Rovi with this real broker is because of the live training sessions. And one of the things I love is this call is open to everybody, not just real agents. And one of the things that real does is allow outside agents to enroll and register for these classes. So I just thought it'd be something good to do again, because there's just so much getting thrown at you guys. A good way to end the call would just be to talk about the opportunities that are there for you guys to continue your training throughout the day. So today you have the investor agent playbook. So a lot of these will start to become themes and you guys will start to understand them and we can just call them by name. But for today, I want to just take a little bit of time to dive into these a little bit. So this is a goal behind this one is scale and grow your business while maximizing your income potential through investor partnerships and personal real estate investments. Gain the tools and insights necessary to navigate changing market conditions and leverage opportunities for growth. Cover a broad range of topics from mindset to the intricacies of creative financing and innovative deal structuring to close more transactions. Also discuss various investor strategies, including long-term rentals, short-term rentals, and other approaches to generate passive income. So that is the investor agent playbook. Also today is the thriving buyer agent. This is just building a thriving buyer business in this confidence building series. Learn how to better position yourself as the obvious choice of an agent. This is hosted by Christine Smith. And please remember, in order to train or be one of these trainers, you have to hit elite level, which in most markets is going to be 30 or more transactions a year. So these trainings are going to be done by experienced professionals in their markets. So 5 key traits of the buyer agent who lands the job: setting yourself up for success, the perfect buyer presentation, the full value chain of a buyer-based business, etc. So that is the thriving buyer agent. Also today, and those are both at 8 a.m. at 10 a.m. So I guess we've missed those at this point. Are those Eastern time? Oh, it's interesting. I wonder if those are Eastern time. We'll have to learn a little bit more about that. At 10 a.m. is Team Cookbook Roundtable discussion. Unlock the recipe of success with Team Cookbook Roundtable discussions. Are you eager to start and grow your winning team using the power of proven recipes for success? So this looks like, hey, if you've got thoughts of starting a team, growing a team, or you're already running a team, this is going to be a good training for you. The Team Cookbook Roundtable. This is Sari Rawal and Beth Nordine. And door knocking it out of the park. So this is Jeff and April, the lines: master the art of door knocking and generate low-cost real estate leads, gain market knowledge, build trust with homeowners, and take new listings. In this class, you will learn a powerful and comprehensive approach that covers all aspects of successful door knocking. And obviously, if you are on this call and you are not at Real Broker, just please DM me, send me a private message, and we can get you a link to register. 5 daily targets. This is at noon with Graham Allen. Join us as we delve into the 5 essentially daily commitments that have the power to compound your business growth. By focusing on these targets, you'll learn how to create daily habits that add immense value to your clients and supercharge your business growth. Lauren.
I was just going to say that, yes, all those times are other coast. So Eastern time there, a couple hours later.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. So that's Pacific time. So 8 a.m. is 11 a.m. our time, East Coast. Thank you. And the final one. So we've got 6 live trainings today. The final one is succeeding in a new market, how to close business when you are new in town. So uncover the secrets to hitting 6 figures and beyond in real estate, whether you're breaking into a new market or starting fresh with a small database. This is hosted by Evan Whaley. So obviously, these guys are signing up to teach these courses because they feel like this is a niche for themselves. Not only are they elite agents in their market, but they feel like, my guess is Evan probably started in a new market and he's just going to tell you about what is working for him. So if you can't make the live ones, obviously you can catch these as recorded as well. Some of these are series, so they happen on the regular. Some of them are masterminds, so it's very interactive, and most of them will have Q&A at the end. So hopefully there's something in there that piqued your interest. We'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully this new format is enjoyable. And as always, please give me feedback. Either, post the call, send me a message, drop me a voicemail, give me a call on different ways that you think we can improve this call to make it the best way to start your day in real estate. Appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.